up, everybody? ScreamFan1990 here. Today I'm going to be finishing up Lee Waddell's mask. If you guys have been following me these past couple of videos, I talked about when I got the mask, my experiences at CreepyCon. I did a cleaning video on it, I did a whitening treatment on it, and now I'm going to go ahead on this last video. I'm going to do a shaping video. I have my hair dryer over here. I'm going to be doing a protectant on top of the vinyl to protect all the work that we've done. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do a tagging, which this portion right here I have never actually done on video. And I'll kind of get into that. So as far as a whitening treatment on this mask, I probably had this thing under the UV light for 40 to 45 hours. I did 2 different treatments on the top, honed in on this one stain right here, and then I even went from the inside out to try to see if I could remove some of this because the stain is all the way through the vinyl. You can see it on the inside of the cheek. I figured maybe I'd go ahead and try that, see what kind of results I can get, and it didn't end up taking it out. It lightened it up quite a bit, I will say. And I talked to Lee about it, and he said, you know what, that's just part of the history of the mask. Let's go ahead and leave it, move on. And so here I am today, gonna show you guys some cool little things that you can do after you've done whiten your mask and you're ready to put it up either in a bag or up on your wall. This being a poly shroud, I'll just talk about some of this stuff so I can move it out of the way here. This being a poly shroud Gen 1, the only tag that is as of now been found on this mask is a Fearsome Faces tag. It was in the era of the Black Aces tag. Also this tag right here, which I call the pinky purple tag. This right here is my Poly Shroud Gen 2, and this is what you would normally see when we were transitioning from the Poly Shroud Gen 2s onto the Poly Shroud EU masks in around 1997, 1998 time frame. As far as we know, this tag right here is the only one that's been found on a Poly Shroud Gen 1. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this. I happen to have one left in my collection, so I told Lee I'd go ahead and throw this on his mask for him. Unfortunately, this would kind of pop up from the top of the mask right there. It was cut off. This is just and it even says on the back here, fan content replica tag, so nobody gets in trouble with anything. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to do that. I got this off of Amazon for maybe 15 bucks. So it's a standard tagging gun kit. So I will do this last. This is what I use to do a very thin top coat on my masks after I've done a whitening treatment on to try to help protect all the hard work. And a lot of people really wouldn't think to use this, and I always go for the medium shine. Some people like the matte finish, if you will. I like the way that the medium shine glosses up the mouth a little bit, makes it look just better. So we using this with some gloves and a microfiber towel to go ahead and wipe that on there. And then of course I got my hair dryer. So Lee told me he doesn't like this divot that's inside of the right eye here. So I'm gonna try to smooth some of this out and get rid of this. He really didn't like it. And what you can use in some instances is just like your standard chip clip. So like you can see that this is kind of bowed out. I would take that and just kind of pinch it like that and then hit it up with a hair dryer. The most important thing is that you do not get too close to the mask. Anywhere from 6 to 10 inches is about where I kind of hang. You're gonna heat up the vinyl. It's gonna get really floppy, and you'll see it as I'm going over this. You'll start to see it kind of moving and getting just, it's almost like it's melting, honestly, but it just softens up the vinyl so that you can go ahead and mold it. You go ahead and you heat it up, and then you want to cool it down. If your hair dryer has a cool setting on it, I recommend hitting that up and then leaving it like this in whatever shape that you want. I leave mine for a couple of hours to actually properly cool. Sometimes I'll have to go back through and hit it up again. Just depends on the mask and depends on how it takes to your heat treatment. So I'm gonna go ahead and start right now, and you guys will see me start to kind of mold this, and it does take a little bit of time. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull my hair dryer around here and just start hitting this up and try to shape this in any way that I can, okay? All right, so I'm just gonna take this chip clip off here and show you guys. I don't know, you guys can kind of already tell that that bump that was there, I was able to kind of pinch that out of there. So what I did was I heated it up a lot, almost to where it's, I wouldn't say too hot to handle. It was very, very, very warm on my fingers touching that. And then I just would pinch it and hold it, and then I flipped it to the cool setting, and I went ahead and I cooled it down in that same position, and that's gonna help hold it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that a couple of times because I don't want that to kind of regress and come back. As time goes on, sometimes they tend to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and see how this does. I did do the chip clip. This looks like it's bowed out more than it is right here because I did fix it. It's the paint looking from the top down that's kind of making it look like it's bowing out, but it's not. This is very straight now, and I was able to get this out. I will do a treatment or two more on this and make sure that this is going to stay in the shape that I want it to. Other than that, I'm going to go ahead and hit this up. If you guys want to get underneath the chin, I like to grab it just like this, mold it just how you like it, and I just hit it up with hot, cool it down, and sometimes I'll even take chip clips and roll it up underneath here and pinch it in a way that I want it to stay so that I can leave it for long periods of time and let it cool properly. I get questions time and time and time again, can I use a heat gun? Do not use a heat gun on this. It will melt your mask. I don't care how far away you hold it. Most of y'all have a girlfriend, a wife, a sister, something. Borrow their hairdryer for about 10 minutes and go ahead and hit them up, and it will turn out just how you need. Do not use a heat gun. You'll do nothing but damage the mask. You can cause the paint in the mouth to bubble up, and you'll just melt it and ruin it. So stick with a hairdryer. So I was able to get the bump out of the inside of the eye like we wanted, and I'm going to go ahead and get my gloves on, and I'm going to just wipe a thin layer of this Armor All protectant. Stuff is like a tiny bit like greasy. It leaves a little bit of a residue, so what I'll do is I'll spray it. You spray it onto the cloth, not onto the mask, and I'll just do like a light spray. And it says, so it's original Armor All protectant, cleans, shines, and protects from UV damage. You guys can find this at any auto parts store. You can find it on Amazon if you need. It's kind of my go-to for everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray a very small amount onto here. I'm going to wipe it all over the mask, get inside the mouth. You can even wipe the inside of the mask if you care to, and then I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to use a clean part and just wipe off excess. You don't need that much. Don't go crazy with it. I like to dab it a little bit. And then you just take the mask, and you guys can see the inside of the mouth. It just cleans up and adds a nice little sheen. See that? Let me wipe it up here. Hold on. And look at the nice sheen on the mouth now. So I would take this and then I would flip it over just to show you what it would look like, and just do like a couple of passes. Just wipe off any excess. And this is what's left. So I'll go ahead and use this on the whole part of the mask here, and you guys will be able to see the sheen that it leaves behind. Leave this out for maybe, I don't know, a day or two, just to make sure that, you know, you don't have any excess sitting moisture from this on there, and then you store it in a bag and it can't get out. And so now that we went ahead and we did that, I am going to show you guys how to tag a mask. So I got this tag here, and the way that my gun works, and I actually brought a tag so that you guys can kind of see. So the way that they did was the fat end goes through the back of the tag, and then they would punch it through. So you would go through this way, go through the tassels, through the vinyl, and then through the back end of the mask here. Now, I had talked to Lee about this already. I do not want to poke holes in his mask. And I went ahead and I used the existing holes to kind of test already, and however they had it, it hung crooked as is. So I'm definitely not going to poke more holes in there to try to correct it. I'm just going to use the existing holes, and I'm going to punch it right here through the top part of the tassels here. I take the tag, just how you would have it in your room, and you got to go through the back of the tag. Okay, so I'm going to start here. I'm going to go through the back of the tag, and then I'm going to find the hole that I want. And I'm going to push it through very gently, and then you got to push it kind of fast, the way that mine works. So I just go ahead and you gently pull it out, and then these are still attached. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see, so then you just gently pull, and it'll come off. So you got half of it done. Very simple. If you guys like to have these replica tags on there, or just even fix one that you got, well worth the investment. I tag masks all the time. Okay, so I went through the back of the tag. I'm going to go through the existing hole and do a quick pull. You don't want to do it slow because it binds. I've done it before, so just like that. Go ahead and pull it through, detach it, and there you go. You have yourself a straight hanging poly shroud small dot Gen 1 on the proper era tag. Fearsome faces all day, baby. So I hope you guys really enjoyed going through this mask with me. I had an absolute blast. I have to give a shout out to Lee. And I'm going to go ahead and just let you guys know he is an absolutely fantastic person to get to know. I'm very happy that he gave me this opportunity. I've said it once, I've said it a million times. I never thought that I would have a chance to work on a mask like this. I'm very proud of how white we were able to get it. I'm thankful that we had no issues with the mask. Wish that I could have got the stain out, but you know what? At the end of the day, it is what it is. You can only do as much as you can do. Masks take on this whitening treatment very, very, very different from one another, and there's nothing that we can do about it. So if you guys haven't already, give Lee a follow on his Instagram. He's very responsive to his fans. He loves you guys. He's genuine. He's a great guy. And if you guys haven't already, please give me a like, subscribe to my channel. Let me know how you guys like this new intro. And anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And until next time, guys, stay creepy.